Christian art, or the mad pretension of painting God. Let us begin with an uncomfortable question. Why has Christianity produced the most beautiful art in the world? Why did it fill churches with frescoes, marble, gold, while its founder had nowhere to lay his head? This is no small contradiction. Christ preached to the poor. Michelangelo painted for popes. Christ walked barefoot in Galilee. Bernini sculpted ecstasies in Carrara marble. And yet there is a hidden logic in all this, a logic that starts from a mad premise, one of those ideas you cannot sustain with reason, only with beauty. Christianity did something no other religion dared to do with such radicality. It said the Word became flesh, not a symbol, not a metaphor, flesh. And if God took on a body, then the body is no longer just matter. If God passed through eyes, hands, blood, then matter is no longer an obstacle. It is a door. From here, everything is born. Christian art is not decoration or lecture. It is incarnate theology. It is the impossible attempt to translate the eternal into time, the invisible into the visible, the silence of God into the noise of history. It is the paradox of the invisible. The Jewish God was an invisible God. You shall not make for yourself an idol or an image, said the second commandment. A God without a face, without a body, without a pronounceable name. Christianity took this prohibition and turned it upside down. Not because it wanted to betray tradition, but because something had changed. The invisible had chosen to make itself seen. John writes, "That which was from the beginning, that which we have heard, that which we have seen with our eyes, that which we contemplated, and our hands touched, concerning the word of life." Notice the verbs: heard, seen, touched. Christianity is a religion of the senses, and if the senses have encountered God, then the senses are redeemed. From here, the inevitable consequence follows. If Christ had a face, that face can be painted. If Mary held him in her arms, those arms can be sculpted. If bread and wine became body and blood, then matter is already sacrament. Christian art is born from this audacity, painting the unpaintable, sculpting the intangible, giving color to the eternal. Let us speak of the flesh of God. The Incarnation is the scandal that made the Sistine Chapel possible. Think about it. A God who becomes a child, a God who is hungry, who cries, who sweats blood in the Garden of Olives, a God with a body broken on the cross. This is not spiritualism. This is sacred materialism. And Christian art understood this immediately. Already in the catacombs, when Christians were hiding from persecution, they were painting. The Good Shepherd, the fish, Jonah and the whale, images stolen from the penumbra, traces of light in the realm of the dead. Then, when freedom arrived, basilicas exploded, golden mosaics in Ravenna, Christ Pantocrator staring at you from every Byzantine dome, enormous fixed eyes that tell you, "I see you even when you do not see me." In the Middle Ages, Gothic cathedrals, spires piercing the sky, stained glass windows that transform sunlight into theology. You enter Chartres, and the world changes color. Red is the blood of the martyrs. Blue is the mantle of Mary. Light is no longer physical. It is grace. Then the Renaissance arrives and everything becomes even more carnal. Michelangelo sculpts the Pietà, a mother holding her dead son. The marble seems like flesh. It feels as if it would be warm if you touched it. And when he paints the Sistine Chapel, he gives God muscles, an athletic God creating Adam with a finger. Scandal for some, theology for others. Because if God took on a body, then the body is divine. Giotto is the first to paint human faces. Before him, saints were icons. After him, they are people. Look at his St. Francis. He has wrinkles. He has a tired gaze. He is a man who has walked too much, prayed too much, loved too much. He is not an idea. He is Francis. Then Caravaggio arrives and does something even more subversive. He paints saints as beggars. His apostles have dirty feet. His Madonna has the face of a Roman prostitute. His Christ is a boy from the people. Scandal, certainly, but also absolute fidelity to the gospel, because Christ was born in a stable, died between two thieves, and said, "Whatever you did to the least of my brothers, you did to me." Caravaggio takes him at his word. The sacred is not in gilded heavens. It is in the mud. It is in sweaty bodies. It is in the light that cuts through the darkness of a tavern. And that light of Caravaggio, is not natural light. It is light that tears open, that reveals, that transforms. It is the light of the transfiguration on Tabor. It is the light of Damascus that blinds Paul. Christian art has never stopped doing this, taking the everyday and revealing its sacred depth, taking the sacred and revealing its flesh. And then there is music. If painting and sculpture translate God into space, music translates him into time. Gregorian chant, voices rising in an empty abbey, no instruments, only human breath searching for God. It is prayer becoming sound. It is the attempt to sing as the angels sing. Then polyphony arrives. Palestrina, voices intertwining like the persons of the Trinity. A melody born of three that become one. Bach writes the Passions. The Passion according to Matthew. 2.5 hours of music on the death of Christ. Orchestra, choir, soloists. It is a sonic architecture that takes you and carries you to Golgotha. You hear the nails. You hear Peter's weeping. You hear the silence of the tomb. And when you listen to the sanctus of a mass, that hypnotic repetition, holy, 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 is not just music. It is the choir of seraphim Isaiah saw in the temple. It is the heavenly liturgy breaking into the earthly liturgy. And Mozart writes the requiem at the point of death, Dies irae, day of wrath. The music trembles, explodes, pleads. Then the lacrimosa arrives, and suddenly everything calms. Tears become prayer. Fear becomes surrender. Christian music does not console, or rather, it consoles by passing through pain, not by avoiding it. It takes the cry and turns it into song. There is a reason Christianity has not feared beauty. Other spiritualities distrust the body. The body is a prison. The body is an illusion. The body is to be overcome. Christianity says the opposite. The body rises, not the soul fleeing the body. The body itself, transfigured, glorified, but body. Paul writes, "Your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, not a prison, a temple. And if the body is a temple, then it must be honored, cared for, adorned." Hence the explosion of beauty. Churches that are jewels, golden chalices for the blood of Christ, reliquaries studded with gems. Someone will say, but Christ was poor. True. But when the prostitute pours precious perfume on his feet and Judas protests, "It could have been sold and given to the poor," Christ replies, "Leave her alone. She has done a good thing for me." There is a sacred waste, a superabundance, an excess that cannot be justified by usefulness, but by love. Christian art is this waste, hours of work for a fresco that perhaps no one will see, precious marble for a statue in a side chapel, complex music for an early morning liturgy. It is the perfume poured on the feet of God. Christian art does not only look backward, it does not only commemorate the Passion, the Resurrection, the Pentecost. It looks forward. It is prophecy. Every icon is a window onto eternity. Every cathedral is a prophecy of the heavenly Jerusalem. Every liturgical chant is a foretaste of the eternal choir. The Apocalypse of John describes the future city: walls of jasper, gates of pearl, streets of transparent gold, a river of living water, the tree of life bearing fruit every month. It is an explosion of beauty, because God is not preparing a desert. He is preparing a city where art, music, beauty will not be superfluous. They will be the very essence of life. Christian art anticipates this. It says, the world does not end in gray. It ends in gold. It does not end in silence. It ends in song. And every time a brush touches a canvas, every time a voice rises in a choir, every time light passes through a stained glass window, something impossible happens. Heaven bends toward earth. The eternal kisses time, and for a single instant, we see what we will see forever.